Ready? Play.
As we enter the final stages of the tournament, what's going to be the biggest key for you?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. I think I'm in a good path. I think if I continue like this, you know, the next match will be great. And yeah, I'm looking forward to it. You know, Coco is such
Coco Gauff next.
Such an amazing person, and you know, we tend to forget that she's just a year older than me. And, but she's a great role model for so many. So I'm really excited for that match. Yeah.
Yeah. So here are the stats that I was talking to you about. Eala here, really important. This is what Coach John has been saying for a while. She needs to be getting a lot of her first serves in because her second serve in particular is so vulnerable. And 69% is really, really good for Alex. And I think it helped her win this tennis match. But I tell you something else that helped her win this tennis match was 55 unforced errors from Sorana Castella today. 55. That contributed in a big way to the match. But also, don't forget, it's Eala's grit and determination continuously making her play another point. Match coming up against Coco Gauff, which will be tomorrow. I think it'll be the third match on center court. So it'll be around about 11 p.m. If you're in Manila, 7 p.m. local time in Dubai, 4 p.m. in Central European time, or 3 p.m. GMT. 10 a.m. in Eastern time and 8 a.m. Pacific time. Hopefully you've got that all covered. Anyway, make sure you join us. We will have a watch along again for that. We have watch alongs for so many tennis matches across both WTA and ATP tours, but also we will have a watch along for Alex Eala's match tomorrow against Coco Gauff. Talking of Coco Gauff, she came through today a really tough battle with Elise Mertens, where she had to save a match point en route to a 3-set win. Coco's form this year has been, by her extremely high standards, so-so. She got to the quarterfinals in Australia before she went down very tamely 6-1, 6-2 to Elina Svitolina. Then in Qatar last week, she lost in her first match against the Italian Cocciaretto, also pretty tamely, 6-4, 6-2. This week, though, it's been getting a bit better. She had a really good win against Kalinskaya in the first round before an incredible battle with Elise Mertens today, where she had to save a match point in that second set tiebreak. She was also up a break, by the way, against Mertens. But then Mertens fights back, gets to the tiebreak. Mertens gets a match point. She saves the match point and ultimately wins the tiebreak and takes that momentum into the deciding set when she wins. Well, how will Coco deal with the Filipino crowd? I mean, Coco did say to the crowd today, by the way, that she thought it was, you know, she understood that a lot of people watching her previous match were waiting for the Alex Eala match. Well, indeed, of course, they were. And they had to wait quite a while as she came through that 3-set epic. Let's switch over to Alex Eala and look at her form for the year. She is now, I think, 10-5 for the year. Probably the real blot for Eala would have been that loss that she had to Alicia Parks in 3 sets. That's probably the only blot on the copybook. I think really Eala would have been exceptionally disappointed not to have won that match, having been 6-love up, having won the first set so convincingly. But apart from that, it's been a pretty good year. Quarterfinals at the Philippine Women's Open, quarterfinals as well in Abu Dhabi. Yes, an early loss last week in Qatar, but now again, getting her season well on track now and a career high ranking of 32. Now, what about this matchup against Coco Gauff? Well, tailor the tape. Let's have a look at that. 11 singles titles for Coco Gauff, including 2 Grand Slams. $30 million in prize money. Well, she has been on the main tour for a lot longer than Alex, but Alex pointed out, didn't she? There's only a 1-year age gap between the two, I think. Coco is aged, 21 to Alex is 20. Career high ranking for Coco, number 2. She's never quite made it to world number 1. Alex Eala, as I just mentioned, has now reached a career high of 32, irrespective of what happens in tomorrow's quarterfinal, which you can watch here with us on the channel. Both of them exactly the same height, 1.75 meters. Eala is a lefty. Coco is a righty, of course. Now, never played before, but What can we expect? Well, this is going to be a very different matchup for Alex Eala because Coco is going to be a different kind of player to what Castella is. And a lot of the players that Eala's come up against, somebody who can just defend every single ball. I think Eala's going to find it really difficult to hit through Coco. I also think Coco's experience means she should handle the crowd better. But whose racket is it on? 50-50 in that respect. Both of them have incredible defensive abilities. Eala will look to attack the second serve of Coco. Also, Eala will aim for the forehand of Coco, maybe hitting a few more balls in that direction. So what Eala will do is she will change direction. As the ball comes into Eala's left-handed forehand, I expect Eala to go down that line quite a bit into the forehand of Coco Gauff. But Coco will be able to defend for all her life. I think this comes down to, in many ways, Coco. If Coco can avoid the double faults that she is prone to on so many occasions, she should be okay. If she can keep her first serve percentage up high, Alex, on the other hand, will desperately need to keep her first serve percentage up at 65, 69%. Of course, it was today against Sorana Castella. So she'll be keen to keep that up, by the way. If she can do that, she'll have a chance. It's really close. I just predicted, by the way, Castella to beat Eala. But I feel as though I have to predict Coco Gauff for all the reasons I've laid out. She's the more experienced player. She'll be still pretty fresh despite that 3-set epic today. Alex Eala got that taping on the right leg. Keep an eye out for that. But it hasn't affected her too much this week as she produced some of her best tennis that she is capable of. But Coco Gauff is another step up. Eala, against top 10 players, we've seen it, by the way, against top 10 players such as Iga Swiatek in Miami last year, Jasmine Paolini this week in Dubai. Also, of course, I think Madison Keys was top 10 when didn't Eala beat Madison Keys in Miami last year in that incredible run that she had in 2025? Yeah, she did. Yeah, Madison was top 10 then. She also, of course, beat Yelena Ostapenko as well in that run before going down the semis to Jessica Pegula. She's going to have another top 10 player tomorrow in the form of Coco Gauff. But yeah, I have to go for Coco in 3 sets. Let me know in the comments section below. Make sure you give us a follow, by the way, on Instagram at Talking Tennis TT on Instagram. We're also, of course, on X at Talking Tennis 22. And also check us out on TikTok. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on all things tennis.
My name is Clara Towson, and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom.
I am Francisca Jorge, and I'm a friend of the show.
Perfect.
Hi, my name is Susan Leemans and I'm a friend of the show.
My name is Zainab Sammaz and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom.
Hey guys, my name is Sasha Vickery and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom.
Hi, my name is Lloyd Harris and I'm a friend of the show.
Perfect.
Hi, my name is Jaime Faria and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom.
Yes.
Take one. Well done.
Hi, my name is Jasmine Paulini and I'm a friend of the show.
Wow, Jasmine, you got it in one time.
Ready? Play.
Hello, everyone. I'm making a coffee. Oh, dearie me. That has to be one of the more amusing starts to the stream. By the way, look here. Premier League table, for those of you interested. But that's not what you're here for, of course. You are here for Alex Eala against Coco Gauff. It's 15 all. Coco Gauff is receiving the serve of Alex Eala, and I'm going to share with you the score on the screen to put you Arsenal fans out of your misery, who are seeing that points gap between you and Manchester City get ever closer. It is 15:30 here on the Eala serve, by the way. There we go. That's what you want, isn't it? Can you hear me all right, by the way? Wonderful to have so many of you with us, by the way. Do they? Yes, they do. In the Champions League, is that? Okay, I'm getting closer to the mic now. Hang on. Hopefully you can see me a little better. Oh, no. Trying to do too many things at the same time. Anyway, Eala, he's got some break points to fend off, and Coco gets the break already with a backhand cross-court winner Hopefully you can hear me all right, and now you can also see me. Maybe some of you would rather not see me, and that's understandable. One love, Coco Gauff. She draws first blood in this Dubai quarterfinal. Yeah, sorry, I was just a little far away because I was doing some kitchen chores. And I was a little bit clumsy. But anyway, anything but clumsy there from Coco Gauff to start off with. She has broken the Alex Eala serve. And I don't think it'll be the first time today. Both of these, of course, have different serving issues. We know what the Coco one is. Double faults. Hopefully now you can hear me a little bit better. Yeah, exactly. That's Women's Champions League, right? We're doing well with the women. I saw a woman celebrate a goal the other day, and she pretended to cut her hair because I think it was a situation where where they won 5 games in a row, and you know about the haircut guy. Okay. Here we go. 15 all. UEFA Championship League. Ghosty. Your terminology is amusing. Okay. Backhand here from Eala is going to go long, and it's 15 all. Okay. $15 all here. Okay. I made a prediction, which was Gauff in 3 sets. Upset a lot of fans, by the way. They were like, but you got it wrong against Castella. Yeah, I get it wrong. But I like to think I get it right more often than wrong. For example, I also said Anisimova in 3 sets against Andreeva. And when there's a 4 variance, right? When you're going for the prediction of sets, you've got a variance of 4 variables. Forehand there from Eala is big, but Coco, see, that's the thing. A lot of these shots that Eala is taking, this is why I've gone for Coco today. I think Coco can just, you know what, accept some double faults. She's got a bit lucky there with that forehand clip in the net, by the way. But it's going to be harder for Eala to hit through Coco compared to... Think about the players that Eala has beaten on a hard court. Madison Keys, Jasmine Paolini, not easy to hit through, but Coco is another level. Exactly. I mean, listen, I might be wrong, Ghosty. I might be wrong with my prediction, and that's fine. I'm okay with that. But I'm also making the prediction based on not just what I've seen this week, but also the fact that we've never seen these two play each other before. And by the way, I might be wrong. Coco might hit a load of double faults, particularly if she's fearful of the Eala return of serve, which is a massive, massive weapon. $30 all. It's a good return there from Eala, but she's gone long there, 40-30. She just might be. She just might be, Saul. By the way, everyone, if you can click the like button and hit subscribe, that would be amazing. Still got some mouthwash in my mouth, sort of taste. Coco is held for 2-love, which is impinging upon the coffee. What do we think about that word, impinging? Do we like it? Two love. Coco leads. That's not Coco against Leeds United. I think that joke will be lost on most. Let me know in the live chat, by the way, where are you tuning in from? 2-1. Sorry, 2 love. And it's going to be a second serve as well for Coco to look at here. What a great match that was, by the way, between Andreeva and Anisimova. I'm just worried about... The reason I actually went for Anisimova is just because I'm not really sure where we're at with Andreeva. Look at this defense, by the way, from Coco. Incredible defense. That part of her game doesn't go. You know, we talk about the serve, which I think is elite when it's on, but there's the double faults. Then I think the forehand has good days as well as bad. It does have good days. It has good days and okay days. It also has bad days. But the defense never has a bad day. Yeah, she did do her in 3. 15 all here, by the way. Right thigh heavily strapped there, Eala. Let me know where in the world you're tuning in from. I don't know if we'll reach 25,000 subscribers during this stream. We probably need a third set to get to 25,000. 30 all. If you're watching right now and you haven't hit subscribe, click subscribe and watch that number just below my head tick over. It'll go absolutely crazy. There's 200 people watching on YouTube right now, and more than 100 of you haven't subscribed. If you all hit subscribe right now, that number will go absolutely crazy. You'll see it tick over and over and over, and you'll go, wow, I've made the difference there. Yeah, see, look, there you go. Okay, break point for Coco Gauff here. I'd go for Coco's defense, certainly over JPEG's. But Iga's got 1 or 2. I'd go for Coco over Iga, but I think you could have a debate there. Well done, Alex Eala, for saving that break point, by the way. Yeah, if everybody clicked subscribe right now who hasn't subscribed, they would, we'd probably get to 25,000. I will be getting a delivery from the supermarket during this match, by the way. So if I get disrupted. Oh, yeah, so Pegula came through in 3 sets over Clara Towson earlier. I think I called that as well. I certainly said... I'm pretty sure that Svitolina's coming through Rucic in the final match of the day. Anyway, Juice here, second serve for Coco to look at. Do let me know in the live chat, where are you watching this match? Backhand return. Forehand from Eala is pretty good, but again, you see, there's the defense. But does she make the drive volley? No. And that is the exact kind of point that I think she normally wins, because not only does Coco defend it so well, it's also coming back, and it's not easy. So let's just say Castella, for example, or even Paolini. Paolini's defense is good, but it's not quite as good as Coco's. The ball is coming back a little bit closer to the net, and so therefore it's an easy volley for her to put away. Or a little bit lucky there with the net called, Coco, not for the first time today. And now we're into the rally, and Eala's missed. And again, Coco has to apologize. 3 love Coco Gauff. I just think this is not a good matchup for Alex Eala. Rough start, yeah. Yeah, but I know what you mean. I know what you mean, Ghosty. So much talent. The movement isn't elite, but it never will be. But the weapons are there. And I do think that, yeah, I do think that she doesn't compete as well as Eala, for example, who of course showed her that at the US Open last year. Yeah, but is scrambling a bit different to defense, Ghosty? A little. I feel as though there's a little bit of difference. You know, chasing balls down, fighting, staying in a rally. But then there's just the athleticism that Coco has in terms of her defense. And Djokovic as well, for example. Does Paolini quite have that? Maybe not. And Paolini doesn't quite have Coco's serve either. And I think those are the two real elements. Whereas Coco can scramble as well and has the pace of Paolini. 3-love, double break deficit here for Alex Eala after 14 minutes. So anything but the ideal start. Yeah, do you know what I mean? I'm thinking amazing defense when you're just stretching and getting your racket on it somehow. And not only are you getting your racket on it, you're getting it back with depth. And your legs are further apart than, I was going to say further apart than the Republicans and the Democrats, but they're not that far apart at all. Okay, backhand return from Eala. Forehand Alex down to the backhand of Coco. Good news for Alex is, although I don't necessarily think she'll win this set now, I think she'll break Coco's serve, although she's going to go long there. Is there? There's an annoying cheerleader. I'm guessing that they're cheering for Alex. Also, Coco, in terms of the crowd, I think probably slightly better than Castella. That relationship, I imagine, and the absolute big-time experience. I mean, Coco must have played French players at the French Open. It is a different kind of intimidation, I know. Oh, double fault from Coco. Now, that we need a few of those if we want to make this first set competitive. Yeah. They are stitched together, and I know pretty much who's done the stitching. Yeah, I think that's the thing. You see, we outside of the US, we obviously focus a lot more on foreign policy than domestic. Okay, second serve here. If you're an Eala fan, you must be hoping for a couple of double faults every game. You know, there's an interesting tactic from Coco. She went huge on the second serve and hit a second serve ace. Do let me know in the live chat, by the way. And I don't need you to tell me, Ghosty. At least you don't need to, you can tell me you know which city you're in, Ghosty, if you wish, but you don't need to tell me you're in California unless you're not in California. What am I talking about? I'm talking about the fact. I'm talking about the fact that I'm going to say, where are you all tuning in from? 40-15. Eala is annoyed with that return, at least in terms of how close it was to the line. Boss Nerd 24 here asking if we'll get blocked, even if we show a bit of the game on a small screen. We absolutely will, yeah. SoCal. I'll leave it there. SoCal. What is SoCal? Is that California? Or is that the name of the town? It's a cultural region that comprises the southern. Okay, so Southern California. By the way, oh, look at that. You can see the Gavin McMillan there. 4-love, by the way. Talking of terminology in North America that I'm not super familiar with, I spoke to. I asked Mert today if he could come on the show on Sunday for either ATP or WTA Weekly. He couldn't because he is going to. And I didn't understand what this meant. but maybe you. But I do now. So he's going to something on Sunday. Comic Con event in California, in Florida. He's going to. Love 15 here, by the way. Are we getting close to bagel territory? I had to look up what Comic Con was, by the way. It's not like a comical conservative. Okay, love 15 here. Alex Eala. By the way, also think about the games when she's been broken, also when Coco's held. We've not had a break point, have we? We haven't even had a juice game yet, I don't think. And now it's Eala who's having to defend. You see, this is another level. It's just a terrible matchup for Alex. I didn't necessarily predict a bagel for this first set, and it's not it's not definitely happening, but Vanch's backyard indeed. Forehand here from Eala. She comes into the net. I think she is going to have to try something different, but she's going to lose this point, surely. Yeah, she does. Love 40. So anyway, we've got Ghosty in Southern California. We've got me in Bonn in Germany. Where are you watching this match from? By the way, look at that points differential, 20-7. Ay, ay, ay. Horrible matchup. Hey, 15-40. 3 break points, 1 saved, 2 to go. In Manila right now, it is 11:43 in the evening. Yeah, I think that could be the case as well. And I think she ran out of steam very similarly in Abu Dhabi recently. Lewis is not pressing the panic button just yet. 5 love, by the way. Yeah, Lewis is not panicking just yet. He's just concerned that if we get to the second set and the patterns remain the same. Ghosty loving Lewis's optimism. Louis, by the way, if it's Louis, I guess you still have the apostrophe after the S and then nothing else. Oh, in the US, by the way, don't you do S apostrophe S, or I got that wrong, Ghosty, or you just pandering to me as a Brit? Hit that like button, and by the way, if you're just tuning in, do give us a follow on Instagram at Talking Tennis TT. And my hopes of getting to 25. Oh, we've just lost a subscriber. My hopes of getting to 25,000 subscribers during this stream are vanishing pretty quickly because I think I needed a lengthy 3-setter to gain 150. I do think we might get to 24,900. That's 51 subscribers, but I need 3 sets. I mean, you're using the word intimidating. I actually think French, maybe or some like Eastern Europeans, Hungarian, because the Filipino one is just like, they're just screaming when they think the point is dumb, but it isn't. That's kind of annoying, actually, sometimes. I must say that. I saw that Altmaier, by the way, got a hindrance for doing something himself. So even tennis players can do it. Very good, very good, very good, Ghosty. So Brazilian, if it is between those two in terms of, yeah. What's that noise, by the way? I can hear some noise. 15 love here. Nick's here saying, obviously, Gauff. Okay. 30-15. I think that's not her first. I think it's her second, Ghosty, I think. Because if you remember, I said about 10 minutes ago, I said we need a few more of those. Okay. 40-30. Set point here for Coco Gauff. Okay. Good backhand return there. Forehand there from Coco down the line. Forehand cross court from Alex. Oh, my goodness me. Yeah. Well, sorry, I'm just seeing the point that set up the set point. 40-30. Okay. Set point here for Coco Gauff. 24 minutes. By the way, for 5.5 games, or almost 6 games, 24 minutes is still quite lengthy, because I think the rallies have been lengthy-ish. Agreed. Uh-oh. Good serve there from Coco. She's on the attack. Eala well behind the baseline. Maybe she's got to stand deeper. I don't know. Maybe she's got to attack the net. Something, anyway. Because these patterns of play are not good for Alex. Oh, that's nice. It's a nice skimming backhand into the forehand of Coco, which we do know is the weaker side. 146 subscribers away from 25,000. We'll get there some point today, tomorrow, or soon for the rest of our lives. Okay, set point number 2 here for Coco. After a good serve out wide and then a +1 scenario. By the way, I played tennis today and I won. Woo, woo, woo. Indoor carpet, which I think is my best scenario. Okay, Coco Gauff here with a set point. She seals the deal in 26 minutes. Coco Gauff. Bit of a reality check here for Alex Eala. 6 games to love. As I highlighted in my preview, I don't think this is a great matchup for Alex, but she's also not been at the races, whilst Coco has been pretty solid, especially regarding those double faults, and that has helped her earn the first set by 6 games to love. I do think that Eala needs to do something different, and I don't dislike the mega attacking return position she had for that second serve that cost her that first set. I mean, cost her is a bit of an exaggeration. All right, we've got 359 people watching right now on YouTube. Now, I want you to all do me one small favor right now. Click subscribe and then watch this number. If you all do it right now, just hit that subscribe button. Watch this number below. It'll tick over and over and over and over, and you could do a little dance and know you've made the difference. And even if you're an Eala fan and she's lost that first set by 6 games to love, you can feel a little bit better about yourself. Wow. Okay, I'm just looking at this right now. First serves won 27%. Yeah. That's not great. Let's have a quick look at these stats, actually. And I'll share them with you on the screen. Okay. There we go. We just gained 3 subscribers. Okay, so let's have a quick look at some of these stats. I think they might be able to tell us a little bit more than I've already informed. Gavin McMillan, they're looking very, very happy, by the way. Yeah, so here are those stats that I said I would share. 3 double faults from Coco, so actually she did hit some, but that's not many. But it's 6 games. And I remember saying this to you recently, Ghosty. I think she hit maybe 10 in a tight 3-setter. Well, that's kind of not so bad. You suddenly look at 3 and you go, that's fine. But she only served 3 times. So that's 1 double fault per game. Anyway, yeah, you're right. Those serving stats for Alex, not looking great. Didn't garner a single break point. I think she got to deuce once, and total points won 26 to 11. A real reality check for Alex Eala in that first set. Doesn't mean, by the way, that we're going to be done here very quickly. I think it's just important that Alex maybe holds serve here, for example, and then she can just settle into the match a little bit better. We have already started this second set as they exchange backhands. Now Eala is going to have to keep those unforced errors a little bit lower. But the problem is you get a rally like we're seeing right now, and eventually you either hit a short ball and Coco punishes it, or you just see, look at the reaction of Alex there. She just can't hit through Coco in the way that she can hit through so many other opponents. Love 15. Gauff is into this game relaxed and powerful and confident. I'm not sure if it's nerves or anxiety from Eala, maybe frustration at times, and maybe there is some fatigue, having had a pretty, I would say, an exhausting 2026, because don't forget, people who go out early in Australia don't necessarily play a WTA 125 the next week. But she, of course, would have felt compelled to, given it was in the Philippines. That's a nice serve +1, by the way, from Alex there. So 15 all, and we hit the half-an-hour mark. Alex has got to get the first serve percentage up, by the way. So it didn't say how many first serves in. It just said first serves 1, 27%. But I'm not sure. Oh, dear. 15-30 here, by the way. She just needs a game. It's double fault, by the way, that set up this 15-30. She's also, you know, the serve of Coco, when it's not double faulting, is big. I'm not sure if Eala will have faced a bigger server in her career. And by the way, it's 15-40 now. It was a decent return from Coco, but she's also loving the backhands, by the way, into the... It's not a problem for Coco as well. Backhand to forehand exchange. Many players, of course, that have a weaker backhand find it... If you've got a weak backhand, by the way, or weak-ish backhand, you're going to find the lefty dynamic tricky cross-court. 15-40. Eala serves. Forehand return. Forehand from Eala's pretty big, but Coco's still defending. Look at that defense you see from Coco. This is just stuff that Eala wouldn't have dealt with before. Nevertheless, she does hold that point. 30-40. Okay, I think Spy is giving up on Alex's chances. I don't blame him, especially as Coco Gauff has got the break to begin this second set. So 7 games played and 7 games won for Coco Gauff. We've yet to have a break point on the... dear, don't do that, Alex. That's way too short. And look at Coco, by the way, celebrating that game as though she's just broken back in a deciding set. She's zoned in right now because she doesn't want to take her foot off the gas. Let's just say she did take the foot off the gas for a couple of games. Before you know it, this match could be back on. But Coco is just way too professional for that. Oh, I learned some Filipino words, and I guess is the language Filipino or Tagalog maybe. What did I learn? I learned the words for juice and advantage. Let me just find my phone. I need to remind myself. Here we go. Juice is tabla and advantage is lamang. So hopefully I get to use it once or twice more. Tagalog. Tagalog is the language, right? Okay, 15 love here for Coco Gauff. See, it's not... I heard a lot of compliments about the second serve return of Alex Eala. But her first serve return is also pretty good. But listen, I'm not sure she's come up against a bigger server than Coco Gauff in her life because she's not played Sabalenka. She's not played Rybakina. I'm just going to go through the WTA rankings and just think about, because I know Iga's a good server, but she's not in the same category as Sabalenka or Rybakina or Gauff. Who else? Naomi Osaka, maybe, but she's not played Naomi. Qin Zheng first serve, but I don't think Qin has played Alex Eala. There might be somebody in the lower echelons of women's tennis that I'm not familiar with that has a huge serve. But yeah, she won't have come up against someone who has as good a first serve or even as good a second serve, particularly when it lands in anyway, in her career. So today could well be just a learning curve for Alex. 6 love, 1 love. Coco misses the first serve. Second serve here for Alex Eala to look at. Oh, it was close to a double fault, but good return there from Alex. Now into the rally, forehand down the line, into the forehand of Coco. Stick on that forehand if you can. Well done, Alex. There you go. See, that's the thing. Because Eala is coming up as a lefty, but against someone whose strength is their backhand and weakness is their forehand, her natural situation is to attack off both wings. But if she's going from backhand into the Coco forehand, that's what she likes. But yeah, oh dear, see, look at that. Body serve there. I mean, Coco apologizes. Alex almost sees the funny side of it, but you know, it's a body serve. It is what it is. 40-15, 2 game points here. Coco serves. First serve is missed. By the way, 480 people watching on YouTube right now. If you all hit subscribe, watch this number go absolutely crazy. It'll go ding, 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 ding. In fact, 250 of you have not subscribed. If you all hit subscribe right now, we will get to 25,000 subscribers like that. And it'll go do, 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 do. Anyway, 40-30 here. 36 minutes on the clock. Coco Gauff to serve, because that serve clock counts down, but she's still comfortably inside the margin. Misses the first serve. So a second serve here for Alex Eala to look at. Be interesting. I mean, maybe she could mix up her return position a bit more. Yeah, look at the respect she's showing the second serve here. That's important. Look at that. She's never normally not inside the baseline to return a second serve of anyone I've seen her play. And by the way, look at that. Too easy for Coco. Forehand winner down the line. 2 love. I have been watching Alex Eala for almost a year now. I've probably seen more than half of her matches in the last 12 months. I've never seen her give as much respect to the second serve of an opponent as I have today. City Remade. City Remade, by the way, I've never known whether you're, are you male or female? I think you're female, right? Okay, Eala here serving. Oh, dear. Okay, I'm going to say something. I'm going to make a call now. We're not going to get a double bagel, okay? It's not going to be 6-love, 6-love. I don't see Wimbledon levels of anxiety that struck Anisimova in that Wimbledon final. And I think Alex can scramble enough and can defend enough and hit a few good shots enough to win a game or two. But Coco is just too solid. Oh, Eala, love 30. That's not helping my prediction. That did look laboured, by the way. But was that laboured because of the matches that she's had so far this year in what has been a grueling 2026 so far for Alex? Or is it laboured because of the nature of this match in terms of where she's feeling mentally right now? Maybe a bit of both. First serve missed. And Alex needs to be getting that first serve percentage up to 70, 75%. Backhand return from Coco into the forehand of Eala. That's a wonderful forehand winner. She's got to be punishing more short balls because she has had a few short balls today that have often come at the end of a lengthy rally, but by which time she's kind of out of steam from all the incredible defense from Coco. 15-30. Where are you going to go with this serve? Into the net. So a second serve here for Coco Gauff to look at. That is not great. Second serve. Backhand return. Forehand from Eala clips the net. Yeah, so this is the 15-40 point. Okay, 2 break points here for Coco Gauff to go up 6-love, 3-love. 39 minutes on the clock. And Coco Gauff does go up 6-love, 3-love. It's a double break advantage right now. I don't see Coco taking her foot off the pedal either. Because Alex is she's got too much respect for Alex's fighting spirit that she can't afford to. Because even, let's just say it goes to 6-love, 4-love, okay? If she then just gives Alex a game, you just don't know with Alex. Even against Coco Gauff. Again, that forehand looked laboured. I don't see Coco giving her a game. Like, it's just different. You just can't do that. And by the way, we might not need to. And I still think Alex is winning a game. If you think Alex Eala is winning a game, write yes in the live chat. Just write yes and click return. If you think no, Alex is not winning a game, write N in the live chat. Okay, I want you to write yes or no right now. You can write Y or N or yes or no. Is Alex Eala winning a game in this match? Get it in the live chat. Click return. We've got some yeses here. We've got a yes from Il Martelenov. We've got no from H2O686. We've got no here from a name I cannot pronounce. By the way, Ilmar and H2WO and FJCK, can you all hit the subscribe button if you haven't already? That would be amazing. We've got a yes. We've got a yes and a no. We've got yeses. Kathleen here. Kathleen, can you also hit subscribe for me? That would be amazing. We're pretty divided, by the way, in terms of yeses and nos. Ghosty's going yes. I'm going yes as well. Also, partly because I think Alex is still a threat on return. Rocky going no. Oh, Snehil. Snehil, absolutely no one has been hyping Alex Eala. I haven't seen a single person hyping Alex Eala's, other than the fact that she's at a career high of 32. Show me one person who's hyping her. I honestly, I cannot find a single person. Okay, just get yes or no in the live chat. You might be right, Ghosty. You might be right, at least in terms of the margin. But I also don't think we can underestimate the matchup. She might say something afterwards. She might be too modest to say anything. She's gone long on the return there. Yes, we've got some yeses here. We've got Snehill going yes. We've got James going yes. Rockies no. Lakers, yes, absolutely. Could be a good experience, Jonathan. Could be. 30-15, by the way. Also, of course, Coco does have the possibility of hitting some double faults in there, and then suddenly you've won a game just because Coco's hit 3 double faults in a service game. Bad matchup. And also bad matchup, by the way, if you have got some physical issues. They're going to come to the fore against Coco, and there is a double fault that I just highlighted. That is life. You do win some, you do lose some. What we are not going to win today, I think, is 25,000 subscribers. I need Coco basically to collapse here and us to go to a third set for us to get to 25,000 subscribers during this stream. Okay, we're into the rally here at 30-15. This could be a chance for Alex. I actually think maybe staying patient isn't... Oh, Alex going along with the forehand there. What is Gauff like versus lefties? Can someone in the live chat let me know what Gauff's record is against left-handers? That would be interesting to know. Because I think with her strengths and weaknesses, I actually think that left-handers won't be a big problem for her. But I could be wrong. Okay, Coco here serving. Oh my goodness me. Look at that double fault. See, when Coco can throw in 2 double faults in a game, as she has done here, there's always a chance of winning a game. If I was on return against Coco, by the way, and she didn't know my level of a tennis player, I might have a chance of winning a game just because she might throw in 3 double faults. I mean, I'm still going to have to win a point somewhere else. But, yeah. Okay, forehand return there is pretty good from Alex. That's a nice big forehand from her. Now it's Alex again on the forehand, but it's... Oh, and Coco, they're going for a slice on the forehand, and it didn't work. Snehill, why is it sad that she gets a lot of attention? It doesn't make any sense to me. Absolutely. Alex is playing well, but Gauff... Well, I'm not sure if Alex is playing well, but certainly Gauff is on another level tonight, that's for sure. Okay, so now I can use my Filipino. Tabla. Gauff Eala. Tabla. There we go. That's my Filipino finished. Tagalog, I should say, probably. Backhand here for me, Coco. It's too good, you see. You see that backhand? I saw some crying, Snehill, when you said... that's what I saw. I saw the crying emoji. That's why I said that. Kind of surprising and then crying. Don't get why it's sad. Unless you just want everyone from the same country to be interested in tennis and don't want to spread the word. Okay, second serve here, Coco Gauff. Game point for 4-love. Double fault. 3 double faults in this game, you see. See, I actually think that, as I said, Alex, I fancy to get a game because she can get a game on the Coco serve just as... If this was Arina Sabalenka or Elena Rybakina, I would fear the absolute worst. Thank you, Ghosty. You're my producer today. Yeah, get some numbers with Coco against lefties. I'm sure it'll be pretty favorable. When you've got a forehand as a weakness and a backhand as a strength, lefties are not an issue. Think about, okay, I know it's one example. It is a one-handed backhand. But think about Federer against Nadal. Even Tsitsipas against Nadal. Berrettini against Nadal. And I know it's Rafa, but give me some slack. Oh, another double fault from Coco. Is that 4 in this game? I think it is 4 double faults from Coco Gauff. And has Eala won a point that wasn't a double fault? Maybe yes, 1 or 2. Everyone, by the way, watching right now, we have 658 people watching on YouTube. Can you all hit subscribe right now and watch this number go? Oh, but we are back to deuce after that rally. I thought that forehand from... Oh, what a lovely drop shot it was, by the way, from Coco. And look at that celebration still. She's still in the zone, and she has to be. Because, listen, it's a double break right now. But if Coco loses her serve here, it's just a single break. Alex Eala holds and it's 3-2. So Coco just can't afford to just rest yet. Coco's winning this match. This is not me predicting an Alex Eala. Even by Eala's standards, this comeback would be just off the charts. But you just don't want to be in a dogfight in this second set. That's what Coco doesn't want. And if she got broken here, she might end up in a dogfight in this set. And then it becomes difficult mentally to get over the line as well. Game point for Coco Gauff after a forehand error from Alex Eala. Remember, everyone, this stream, by the way, might be finished in the next 10 minutes. So you haven't got long to click subscribe. I will stay live for a few minutes afterwards to preview the semi-final between Pegula and Anisimova, by the way. So do stick with us and do hit the like button, by the way. Okay, we're into the rally here. On the forehand of Eala into the backhand of Coco. I think Eala's gone too big there. She has. Pulling the trigger. Donut, people are suggesting. If you didn't say yes or no earlier, I want you to answer the question. Is Eala winning a game? Write in the live chat right now. Yes, if you think Eala's winning a game. Write no, if you think Eala's not winning a game. I have said yes. I said it 1 or 2 games ago, and of course, with every game that goes Coco's way, it looks less likely, but I'm still going to stick to yes. She's winning one of the next 2 games. Uh-oh, we don't want a second serve here, though. Okay, second serve here for Coco Gauff to look at. Backhand return into the forehand of Alex Eala. She needs to win a couple of early points. I think she's missed that forehand. Yeah, she's missed a lot of forehands today, Alex. And she is pulling the trigger, maybe at the right time, maybe just slightly early. And that's the thing, she's not... Okay, we just had that lengthy juice game, but she's also going down love 30 love far too quickly, 40-15. I think you mean winning a game, right? Yeah, don't worry. Me too, Ghosty. I'm an idiot on Tennis Abstract. I find it a wonderful tool and yet really difficult to negotiate in terms of finding the lefty stats. Okay, I'm going to write in a WhatsApp group right now to see what Coco's stats are. Anyone know Coco's stats versus lefties? Okay, wonderful that we're adding some subscribers. I don't think we're going to get to 25,000, but we'll tell you what we are going to get. We're going to get 30-15 here on the Eala serve. Here comes the comeback. This is where she shifts the momentum. Exactly. There we go. That's the spirit. We get to 4-1 and it's game on. So far, we've had 10 games. Coco has won all 10. And I think we've had 2 go to deuce, maybe. I think when Coco was trying to serve it out, we got to deuce at 5 love. And then obviously that previous deuce game, which was a bit lengthy. Go, Alex, make a rally now. Okay, 30-15 here. Alex down the tee, forehand return, backhand into the forehand of Coco. Now she's going to go cross court. Really, she should be winning the point here, Alex. Does she win the point? Yes. But that's the thing. Oh, no. My goodness me. You see, that's the thing. Alex will never have come up against something like this before. Alex has won this point about 3 times over against most players on the tour, and Coco does go long on the forehand. So Coco is 21-5 against lefties. 21 wins, 5 losses. A pretty healthy scenario. Hey, Eala has won a game. I told you. Stick with me on Talking Tennis. Hit that subscribe button. I told you Coco is not going to win this 6-love, 6-love. Here comes the comeback. It was a decent serve down the tee. And it was a backhand cross court. Look at Eala there. She's happy. And so are the crowd. See, what's to not like Snehill? Snehill, the last lefty. This is just off the top of my head. Vondrousova, Wimbledon 2024. 2023. That would be off the top of my head. I'm pretty sure that's right because Arena and Iga and Coco and Elena are all righties. And I'm guessing they've won each of the slams since then. So Coco won US Open 23. Australian Open 24 was Arena Sabalenka. French Open 24 was Iga. Wimbledon 24 was Barbora Krejcikova. And I think she's a right-hander, isn't she? Krejcikova's right-handed, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, she's right-handed with a two-handed backhand. And then US Open 2024 was Sabalenka. Then Australian Open 2025 was Madison Keys. French Open 2025 was Coco Gauff. Wimbledon 2025 was Amanda. Nah, just kidding. Iga Swiatek. US Open, of course, 2025 Arena Sabalenka. And Australian Open 2026 Elena Rybakina. Okay. So we've got at least 2 more games here. I'm pleased that Eala, by the way, won that game. Just because nobody wants to see love and love. Coco here serving. She's still got a double break advantage, so it doesn't really feel, even though it's 4-1, it doesn't feel that close this set. Not yet, anyway. I think Eala would have to get the break here and then probably hold for us to start thinking about something. Oh, Eala, that's a disappointing volley. I don't dislike the net rush. I don't dislike the net rush there, Alex. But you got to volley a bit better than that. And her volleys aren't bad. Normally. And she's annoyed at that one because she knows love 15. Coco throws in a double fault in one of the next 2 points. And suddenly, you might be on the verge of breaking serve. Good depth there from Alex, by the way. Now it's on the backhand of Coco, which clips the net. And this time, by the way, Coco as well has had a little bit of luck today. Just a little bit. This is not me saying anything else other than a comfortable Coco win, probably. But there was a couple of net. She had 2 or 3 net cords in that first set in points that she was down in. She does look exhausted. I do agree with that, yeah. Anyway, it's 15 all here. I think we also as well for for Alex to push it beyond the hour mark as well, I think is something important. So 15 all here, Coco Gauff serving. Forehand, look at that return, pretty good. But actually, wow, now it's Alex Eala doing a Coco Gauff impression in terms of defense and a Coco Gauff missing on the forehand. A lot of times we've seen Alex miss on the forehand today. I'm not thinking that yet. Let's get to 15-40 and I'll start to contemplate it, Ghosty. The problem for Eala as well, to feel like this is competitive, she needs to break and then hold because she's so vulnerable on her serve that the scoreboard is actually quite important. If you know, like 4-1, 5-1, that's kind of what you have to look at because, she gets broken 30 or 40% of the time. So when Alex breaks, it doesn't feel as significant. That's lovely, by the way. Wonderful attacking play there. And we've got 2 break points for Alex Eala. And suddenly the double bagel feels a long way away. In fact, the double bagel, of course, isn't going to happen, but hopefully you get my idea. If Alex gets the break right now, by the way, I think that deserves a subscribe. If Alex Eala breaks, you have to subscribe. That should be a law. And Alex Eala does break. So it's 4-2. It's competitive-ish, this second set. Has Coco fallen off a little bit? Well, I think that big forehand wasn't ideal from her at 15 all. And the double fault, which you can always rely on every now and again with Coco. So even though it's been a dominant performance from Coco, I'm guessing we're getting close to 10 double faults. Thank you, Lakers. Already subscribed. Wonderful. By the way, this is what I said to you a few weeks ago, Ghost. I think it was maybe more, even a few months ago in the US Open last year. She had a super tight 3-setter, and I think she hit 10 double faults. But that's all right. 10 double faults in a 3-hour epic when you're serving 15, 20 times in a match, that's not a big deal, especially by Coco standards. If you're up 6-love, 4-love, and you've already hit 7 double faults, that's a lot. Anyway. Point made. 15-love, by the way. $15-love. Jesus or Jesus, not sure how to say your name. He's very happy. Rosanna here saying, come on, Alex. We need the biggest comeback. Would 6-love, 4-love be the biggest comeback in 10? If she has to win the match, of course, not just get one set. But it would be pretty close. Forehand here from Eala into the forehand of Coco. Now on the backhand side for Coco, which has got good depth on it. Feels like Coco's on top of this rally, but Eala brings out a big backhand, but incredible defense there. Oh no, Coco, Alex, that was a very, very, very silly point. That was a cheap point for Alex to give away. What is she doing going down the line there with that short ball? I don't know. Look at this short ball here. I guess she's just desperate to avoid the Coco backhand. She does clap the lob, but you've got to get to 30-love there. And you get to 30-love and you probably hold. Now she loses the next point and it's 15-30. And it's completely different. She'll be disappointed with the last couple of volleys, by the way, Alex. I don't think the previous one was a net rush. She came in to chase a ball down that she got too comfortably. That last one was a net rush, I agree. The one just now, the one with Coco passing her. But the lob point wasn't a net rush because it was completely legitimate and logistical and logical. Sorry, not logistical. Now I'm losing all kind of sense of normality. 15-30 here. Thanks, Ghosty. Forehand return. Alex going big into the backhand. And Coco can't deal with it. 30 all. Come on, let's keep subscribing, people. Keep hitting that subscribe button. I think we'll get to 24,900 before the end of this stream. In fact, I will not end the stream until we get to 24,900 subscribers. So there you go. Call that a punishment if you like. Forehand here from Eala into the forehand of Gauff. What's she doing there, Alex? 30-40. And now it's a break point. Jesus here saying more power to the channel. Thank you very much. But now we've got the break of serve from Coco Gauff. And she will serve for the match. An hour and 2 minutes on the clock. We've just gained 2 subscribers. Thank you very much for that. Yeah. See, look at that. You don't want to be in that forehand to backhand dynamic. You just don't want to be in that dynamic, Alex. And you've probably been in that dynamic a bit too often today. By the way, you can also become a member. It's pinned in the live chat. And if you click on that notification that's pinned in the live chat to become a member, you can do so from as little as $2 a month. Not very much, €2, something like that. And there's extra content, including an unedited interview in its entirety with Alex Eala. Plus, you'll be supporting the channel. But yeah, you don't have to, of course. Okay. When they return to the court, Coco Gauff will be serving for the match. Does she serve it out? Okay, everyone in the live chat right now, is Coco Gauff serving this out? Yes or no? I'm going to say yes. I'm saying yes that Coco serves this out. So far, my predictions, by the way, not bad. Listen to my predictions for today. Anisimova to beat Andreeva in 3 sets. Tick. Coco Gauff to beat Alex Eala. I think we can say tick. But double bagel, I said no. Tick. And now my final prediction is that Coco serves this out. I'm saying yes to Coco serving this out and winning the match 6-love, 6-2. Ghosty is also saying yes to a 6-2, 6-love scenario. Or 6-love, 6-2. Anyway, does Coco Gauff win this next game? Yes or no? Okay, here we go. Gauff serving 6-love, 5-2, 1 hour and 4 minutes on the clock. I also had Pegula beating Towson in 3 sets. Oh, I forgot about that one. You're just the gift that keeps on giving today, Ghosty. Okay, backhand here from Coco into the back forehand of Eala. That's not bad from Alex, but well defended by Coco. How many times have we said that today, by the way? Now it's into the forehand of Alex, down to the forehand. Exactly. You've got to keep going down that line. Keep going down that line. Now she's on the attack, Alex. Drop shot doesn't work from Eala. 15-love. The thing is, when you attack the Coco Gauff forehand, which is Eala's natural instinct, you don't sometimes get as much reward as if you just give the forehand to Coco. Think about that forehand error that she hit, when she had a big ball that she should have won the point off and she hits it out. And I said this to Paula Badosa in Madrid a few years ago, that actually you don't attack the Coco forehand, you just give the forehand. Okay, now we're on the backhand of Coco. Oh, a wonderful forehand winner there from Alex Eala, by the way, 15-all. Um, 15-all becomes 30-15, though, so the wind out of Eala's sails is being taken out as quickly as it was engineered. Look at that, by the way. Not very often you see Coco Gauff beaten like that. I'm looking at the previous point that's 15-all. But yeah, 30-15 after Eala dumps a forehand return into the net. Yeah, Badosa is injured again, by the way, Ghosty. But I don't know to what extent. But I think she's obviously had this on-off back injury since the summer of 23, I think it is, when she pulled up at, in Rome that year. Okay. Forehand return from Eala is pretty good. And now she's on the attack. And as a result, gets to 30-all. So just hold off for now, Coco, on your ambitions to win this match easily. Just going to keep making you fight a few more points. But Coco Gauff has a match point. After 1 hour and 6 minutes in what has been a pretty swift encounter and a pretty dominant performance from Coco, double faults aside, Coco now leads 40-30, and so she has a match point on her serve. Where are you going to go with the serve? As I say, it's been a pretty dominant performance. A little late rally from Eala, and Eala will be disappointed that she didn't hold at 2-4 when she was serving. Coco Gauff, by the way, serves. Where are you going to go with this serve? You are going into the forehand of Eala. Backhand from Coco Gauff. Backhand from Eala. Forehand Coco. Stay on that forehand side. No, Eala, you don't want to go that way. now you're in a bit of trouble, are you? But actually, you're on the forehand of Coco. Stay on that forehand. Yes, there you go. But you're attacking the forehand. Now you're going to attack the backhand. I'm not sure if that's going to work out. Eala, they're doing well, but Coco defending so well. Story this match. Now it's going to be a forehand error from Alex Eala, which I think is also the story of the match. And Coco Gauff, after 1 hour and 7 minutes, beats Alex Eala in this Dubai quarterfinal. 6-love, 6-2. The Alex Eala train has been halted, at least for now, at the quarterfinal stop in this WTA 1000 event in Dubai. Coco Gauff progresses in this WTA 1000 event. She, of course, will play the winner of Alina Svitolina and Rutsi, which is coming up shortly. So Coco Gauff can rest and chill up. Rutsic, by the way. So I think I said Rutsi, but Rutsic. So Coco Gauff is through. Alex Eala, well, what was the story of the match? I mean, it was 6-love, 4-love. Just like that in a heartbeat. And what was the dynamic? Well, as I said several times during the live stream, part of the problem is that Alex's lefty scenario was not helping her today. The record for Coco, by the way, has now been extended to 22 wins and 5 losses against lefties, a very healthy scenario. And the reason for that is that Coco's weakness is the forehand and her strength is the backhand. In other words, a natural exchange. If we think about some of those players that have a lot of favoritism as a lefty going into normally what is the weaker shot with their lefty forehand going cross-court into the backhand, that was just not happening today and was just not working. And by the way, another one of Alex's strengths is going big on return and especially second serve returns. But when the second serve lands in from Coco, it's landing in with incredible venom that I don't think Alex has ever come across before. I also think that the amount of tennis that she's played already this year, she played 2 warm-up tournaments before playing in Australia. And even though she went out early at the Australian Open, because she had a WTA 125 in her homeland, that obviously needed to be played. And so she played there. She's played consecutively and non-stop. And now she's probably going to have a well-earned rest. Let's listen to Coco.
Even when I was up, I knew that she could come back at any given moment.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Before. So, yeah, thank you guys for coming out here. And I know you were mostly supporting. I know you were mostly supporting Alex, but I have to say, it is great to be on a crowded court. I've played this tournament for many years, and to see the stadium full means a lot. And also, like to thank Alex for bringing a new demographic to the sport. I really appreciate it.
There you go.
It's great. I know sometimes it's tough when you're playing against a home crowd, but I think that it's great for the sport. So keep being enthusiastic and keep rooting for your player. Yeah.
Exactly. What's not to like?
What would you say that you were relying heavily on today coming in? What's the part of your game that you kept going back to?
Honestly, I had a similar match at French Open last year, so I brought that mindset today of just trying to, whenever you guys were cheering for Alex, I was pretending that it was my name, and I think that it helped me a lot. So, and you can't beat them, you got to join them. So.
Well said. And
there you go. That kind of attitude needs to be replicated, by the way. And I'm thinking of you, Castella.
I think just confidence and obviously the serve. I think just be confident with that shot. And yeah, each match I've gotten better. Definitely wasn't in good spirits before entering this tournament, but it's, one match can change everything. So I honestly didn't think I would be in the semis at the start of this, but I'm happy that I'm here. So yeah.
you're in the semis once again. You've been here before. Are you looking forward to that matchup, depending on who wins next?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I lost in the semis here before, so hoping to do better than last time I was in the semifinals, but I'm still proud either way. So, yeah, thank you guys.
All right, Coco, thank you so much for talking to us. Ladies and gentlemen, Coco Gauff through the semifinals.
There we go. Coco Gauff is through to the semifinals, where she will play the Svitolina or Rutsic. Their match will be getting underway shortly. I'm going to share with you here an image of Alex Eala about to serve. Well, what happened in the match and why did we get that scoreline? I do think we mustn't underestimate just how grueling this year has been for Alex Eala. And in terms of also some of her matches as well that have gone the distance. Who can forget that incredible three-setter that she had in Abu Dhabi against Sasnovich, for example. But listen, she has played... actually, she only played one warm-up tournament before the Australian Open. My bad. She played in New Zealand, didn't she? But there she played 4 matches before a grueling 3-set loss in the semis. Oh, and let's have a quick look at some of these stats from today. 8 double faults off the record, off the racket of Coco. So that's still quite a lot, bearing in mind it was a pretty swift match. I'm going to share these stats with you on the screen just a moment. 1 double fault, is that for Eala? Yes, 1 double fault. As I tell you through the reasons why we got the result that we got. Pegula and Anisimova. I will be previewing that match very, very shortly, but if you just give me a few moments just to dissect this match as well. Okay, here are the stats that I said I would share with you. Of course, the most important stat of all is that Coco Gauff has won this 6-love, 6-2. Apologies if this is not the clearest of images. But anyway, I'm going to keep talking you through it. 8 double faults from Coco Gauff, 1 from Alex Eala. So Eala was gifted a few. I mean, don't forget, she probably got one of the breaks of serve that was the only break of serve I think that Alex got was courtesy of some double faults. 30% of first serves won today for Alex Eala. I mean, she's actually winning more on her second serve than her first serve. Coco was able to attack that like no one has probably attacked it before. I do think that this was another level for Eala. And I know people will say that she played Madison Keys and she's played Jasmine Paolini and she's played Iga Swiatek. I actually think she played all 3 of those players at a good moment. Paolini, for me, has had a rough start to this year. She's not producing the same level of tennis that she's shown over the previous 2 years. I think Eala coming up against Kern in that moment was ideal. I also think Eala's tennis, by the way, this week has been at the absolute highest level and probably the best tennis she's played all year, even higher than Abu Dhabi. The other thing I will say, when she ran into Madison Keys was on that post-Australian Open honeymoon period, if you like, where I think the loss that she had to Sabalenka, the crushing loss that Madison Keys had to Sabalenka, that meant Miami was a little bit of a deflation for her. And I think, again, it was a good moment for Eala to play her. So I think there were certain factors there. But also, I don't think Eala has ever come up against someone who serves as well and as big as Coco Gauff. Now, I know some of you will be screaming at the screens right now going, yeah, but Coco hits double faults. I mean, when she lands the first and second serves as well. We saw as well at times towards the end of the match, Eala, I have been watching Eala almost constantly for a year. I've probably watched around about 50 of her matches across all levels of the tour. So I do know what I'm talking about. I have never seen Alex Eala pay the second serve of anyone she's ever played before as much respect as she did to Coco Gauff. She was standing outside of the baseline when she was returning that second serve. I've never seen that before with Alex, even against whoever she's played against. But she's not played Rybakina, Sabalenka, or until today, Coco Gauff. Also, Alex, the forehand today for her was being sprayed a bit. On occasion, she was running out of steam because she's also never come up against someone who can defend as well as Coco Gauff, which means she has to hit another ball. And if you are just feeling a little bit fatigued, as I think I did highlight with Alex in terms of the thigh strapping, but also the number of matches she's played. She played 4 in New Zealand. She played another 1 in Australia. This is just singles, by the way, not including some of the doubles matches she's played. So that's 5. She then played another 3 in Philippines. So that's 8 matches. She then played another 3 in Abu Dhabi. That's 11, 12, 1 more in Qatar, and then another 4 this week in Dubai. That's 16 matches already in the last 6 weeks. That's a lot. especially when you've got that style. Eala's not winning with big serves, is she? And all the rest of it. So, yeah, do let me know in the live chat what you thought of today's match, and I might be able to share it with you on the screen. Peace and see you soon, Ghosty. 33 unforced errors. Eala did get frustrated today. That is a lot of errors, by the way, over what was a match which was just over an hour and contained just 14 games. 14 games, by the way. That's more than 2 unforced errors every game. That's almost 2.5 every single game that Alex Eala is hitting. That's gifting far too many points. And if you compare that to the 8 double faults from Coco, yeah. 6 of 9 break points, 1 from Coco. She was pretty efficient today, but she was just so good at returning, as those return stats show. And I also think that if you are a little bit tired, someone who doesn't know tennis as well as it actually takes a lot. Serving is actually a huge amount of effort. So, yeah, that is my supermarket delivery. We will take a quick break. When we come back, I will review, I will preview the Pegula against Anisimova semi-final. We'll take a quick break.
Ready? Play.
Confessei a com a Alexandra Eala depois da segunda ronda deste Alex Open 125. Alex, tough one out there, of course. Thoughts on the match, please?
I think she played very well. I think it was a good match, tight one for sure, and she performed better in the tight moments, and I know what I have to improve for the next tournament. Yeah.
What do you have to improve?
Well, I think a bit of the movement. It's my first tournament on clay. Being demanding with the quality on each shot, and yeah, just take it step by step. I don't think I'm not super down after the match. I competed well. I competed to the best of my ability, and yeah, it was a good match. Yeah.
A lot of people came to support you, even at very small courts. Are you still surprised with all those people wanting to see you play? Probably most of them for the first time. How happy are you with the support?
No, I'm super happy. It's tough conditions to watch here. Cold, windy, a lot of the times raining, and I guess that also affects the conditions of the court for the tennis. So for them to still be here and to support me despite that, it means a lot. Yeah.
Do you think the conditions maybe didn't help you today, or didn't really matter?
Maybe the balls were a bit heavier. I think the weather definitely affects clay courts more in terms of changes of condition than other surfaces. I can't say for sure that in the end it's the same. If the court's wet, the court's heavy. The court's heavy for her, the court's heavy for me. So maybe some certain aspects are advantages to certain game styles, but that's not for me to say. I can't say that it was a disadvantage or whatever. It's just how the court was today. Yeah.
Mentally speaking, how tough was it to go from the central court in Miami to the small court 17 or 18?
I mean,
was it easy for you?
Yeah, it was easy. In the end, I don't really care which court I play. I have to. This is the job. I don't expect now that I'm going to be in center court all the time. Yeah, you can't. You can't expect that. It's not a problem for me to be whichever court. Yeah.
Yeah. Now Madrid and Rome coming. You played Madrid a couple of times. How excited are you to play those two big events like in the top 100? That's where you are at the moment. And how excited are you for that?
Super excited. It's Madrid. I always love going back there. And Rome will be my first time. So much to look forward to. I think, my goals for this clay season, especially after Miami, is just to do better than last year, to improve my game on clay. It's quite a short period of time compared to hard. So yeah, just to feel myself do better and feel myself keeping the level. Yeah.
What is it about clay, do you think, for you and your game that makes it maybe a little bit more tricky than hardcore, for example?
Well, I grew up on hard court, so it comes more natural to me, and maybe my game is a bit more suited to there, how to move, but not to say that it should change on clay. I don't think it's in the end it's a court, you know. So of course maybe the bounce is higher, it's affected by the weather, but you can't make it such a big deal. It's nothing to change my whole game over. So I believe that I can do just as well on clay as I can on hard. Yeah.
Just coming back to the match today, I mean, 1 or 2 points either way, and we could be looking at the third set, and who knows. And there's one big point in the tie break, I think at 2-4 maybe, or 3-2, and I know you had the line checked. From where I was standing, it was difficult to tell, but you were pretty, keen to have the umpire come and have a look.
Yeah, there was. Yeah, I think I'm trying to recall that point, but there were a lot of close. And I think that's the advantage of clay, is that you have the mark, and in the end, if it's really that close, then it's the decision of the umpire. You know, I saw what I saw, but in the end, she makes the final call. So nothing to say about that. Yeah.
Of course, it was not easy the week as well because of the weather. But did you enjoy your staying in Lisbon? Or you came back?
Of course, tough loss today, of course, but I think there's a lot of positives to take away. I had fun with the matches that I played, competing, and of course the club is super nice. Yeah, I think organized pretty good. I mean, you had to adapt a lot with the weather, so that's not in our control. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on all things tennis.
Ready? Play.
How has life changed since that Miami run for you, or has it not changed at all?
A lot has changed technically, but I don't really feel, at the same time, not much has changed. It's hard to explain. I've had the same work ethic since I was young, so nothing in terms of how I go about my day has really changed. Of course, there's a big difference between last month and this month in terms of my results, my ranking, but when you focus on the things that I need to focus on, there's nothing much.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you feel any more pressure?
I think it's normal to feel some pressure after a big run like this. But tennis is a game that has a lot of pressure in whichever moment that you're in your life, and I think that I've done the best I could with my mentality and talking with my team about how I can handle it, and hopefully that shows on court.
The win over Iga, is that the best moment of your career so far, would you say?
Of course. I think all of those, all the wins that week, and even the match against Jessica was each such important moments in my life. Yeah.
Yeah, sure. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on all things tennis. Okay. I said I would be back, and I'm here to talk to you about the upcoming match, quarterfinal match that'll be coming up in Dubai between Jessica Pegula and Amanda Anisimova. Anisimova reached this stage after wins over Janice Chen and then Mira Andreeva. She got a walkover in the round of 32. So I do think she'll be okay in terms of how she is feeling physically. She had a real physical battle today with Mira Andreeva, by the way, coming through 7-6 in the third. She was crushed in the first set as well, 6-2, but dug deep and overcame Mira. First, her previous match to that against Janice Chen was a very comfortable 6-1, 6-3 scenario. As for Jessica Pegula, she has got to this stage after straight sets wins over Grasheva and Jovic. The win over Jovic in particular, very impressive, 6-4, 6-2. And then she came through in 3 sets today against Clara Tauson, winning 6-4 in the third. But Pegula's form, by the way, is pretty impressive. If we go back to, I think, the US Open, and so therefore the previous tournament to that was Cincinnati, she has made the semi-finals, Jessica Pegula, in the US Open, in the China Open, in Wuhan. She got to the final, by the way, in Wuhan. She made the semi-finals at the WTA finals. She made the semi-finals in Brisbane. She made the semi-finals at the Australian Open. And now she's made the semi-finals here. So what is that? I think it's, if we go back to the US Open, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 tournaments in a row. That is incredible consistency from Jessica Pegula to get to this stage, especially if, considering some of the opponents that she's had to skittle over, including Jovic and Tauson this week. That's very impressive. As the 31-year-old, by the way, gets very close to her 32nd birthday in 5 days. So it'll be next week. It'll be after the final, I think. It'll be a nice way for her to celebrate if she was to win the tournament here in Dubai. Anyway, she's going to have to come up against Amanda Anisimova. Of course, she played Anisimova in the quarterfinals in Australia recently, as Amanda Anisimova remembered on court today in her interview. And that was a pretty comfortable win for Pegula. I mean, the second set was a lot closer than maybe it should have been. I think Pegula was up a break in the second set before Anisimova came fighting back. But still, it was a straight sets win for Pegula. And I'm reminded, by the way, right now of their head-to-head, or in particular, what Mert Atunga, our resident tennis expert, he's not the only tennis expert we have on this channel, but I remember him predicting a Pegula win before that encounter. And he predicted it largely because he thought the matchup was not good for Jessica. And as we can see here, the matchup has not been very favorable for Amanda. 4-0, the head-to-head in Jessica's favor. And I saw a lot of the matchup scenarios and some of the rally situations that Pegula and Anisimova had that day. And I began very quickly to regret my prediction that I gave to Mert that Anisimova would beat Pegula in the quarters. I was probably just looking at straight lines, and I was just looking at what I saw on the court from Anisimova, which in the Australian Open for the first couple of rounds was very impressive from Amanda, and for the previous 6 months, by the way, all the way back to her Wimbledon run final apart. But I probably wasn't paying enough attention to their head-to-head. 4-0, Pegula leads that head-to-head, by the way, including that Australian Open win. It dates back to the 2020. By the way, a lot of these coming on hard court too. Cincinnati, hard court straight sets win. Clay, which I think might well favor Amanda Anisimova. That might be where she gets her first win. That was a 3-setter, by the way, 7-6 for Pegula there. They had another 3-setter in the Toronto final of 2024. But in many ways, 3 sets doesn't quite do it justice. It never felt close, particularly in the third set. The Pegula won 6-1. And a little bit like that in Australia as well. The match didn't really feel that close. And even when we went to the tiebreak, even though it felt like Anisimova had fought her way back into the match and therefore should have had the momentum, I had zero confidence in Anisimova winning that tiebreak. And in fact, the scoreline in the tiebreak, 7-1, kind of tells you everything. A few more things about their... and by the way, Anisimova's form since that quarterfinal in Australia, yeah, In Qatar last week, she lost in her first match there. Well, she gave a walkover, I should say, to Pliskova. And also today for a set and a half against Mira Andreeva. In fact, if you think about the third set, Mira Andreeva was up a break in that third set. And I think it was Mira imploding a little bit that gave Anisimova the win. You can tell, by the way, where I'm going with my prediction for this. I am feeling a 3-set win for Jessica Pegula. Let me know in the comments section below how you feel as though this is going to pan out. Also, give us a follow on Instagram at Talking Tennis TT on Instagram. Or, of course, you can just follow us on TikTok for more tennis content there, where we're just simply talking tennis. Or find us on X at Talking Tennis 22.
Ready. Play.
How has life changed since that Miami run for you? Or has it not changed at all?
A lot has changed technically, but I don't really feel, at the same time, not much has changed. It's hard to explain. I've had the same work ethic since I was young, so nothing in terms of how I go about my day has really changed. Of course, there's a big difference between last month and this month in terms of my results, my ranking, but when you focus on the things that I need to focus on, there's nothing much.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you feel any more pressure?
I think it's normal to feel some pressure after a big run like this. But tennis is a game that has a lot of pressure in whichever moment that you're in your life. And I think that I've done the best I could with my mentality and talking with my team about how I can handle it, and hopefully that shows on court.
The win over Iga, is that the best moment of your career so far, would you say?
Of course. I think all of those, all the wins that week, and even the match against Jessica was each such important moments in my life.
Yeah, sure. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on all things tennis.
Ready. Play.
Alex Eala, okay? Of course, her run in Miami in particular has caught the tennis world in many respects by storm, and particularly because she's from a part of the world with a huge population and clearly a huge interest in tennis, albeit not a great pedigree in terms of Filipino players, making it. Her run also in Miami, shocked everyone. With every single win, it was like, oh my goodness me, she's beaten, Madison Keys, but she's not going to beat, of course, Iga Swiatek. And what does she do? She goes and beats Iga Swiatek. I think even before that, she played Ostapenko and beat Ostapenko too. And very, very close match with Pegula and the emotion there. She's now going to be playing in Madrid. Clay is certainly nowhere near her best surface, certainly compared to hard, as she actually told me last week in an interview. What did you make of her run in Miami and her as a player?
Yeah, I thought it was really fascinating. She uses her leftiness really well. When she went on that run, it was really impressive how she handled the big moments on the stadium court. What's interesting about her draw in Madrid is if she beats Tomova, who does she play second round? It would be Swiatek, who has that bye. So I love this in women's tennis right now, where you get like a compelling matchup, maybe a month after the first one, they could play again. But I also like how tennis, the last couple of decades, you get countries that wouldn't even be mentioned as a tennis country. You can hardly even remember a player from the Philippines. And then you all of a sudden get this talent. I like the story, the connection with Rafa Nadal and his academy. She's a lefty. A couple of times when she produced some forehands, I'm like, whew.
Yeah.
I see. It's tough to compare anybody's forehand to Nadal, but she's a great story.
She's a great story. I don't think that she'll probably have quite as many Roland Garroses in her locker as Rafa did come the end of her career, but I'm very much looking forward to seeing how she gets on. I have been made to eat my words many times regarding tennis predictions, but also regarding even Eala in Miami, with just thinking, okay, that was a great win, but she's, and I'm feeling the same in Madrid, just because I saw her on the clay last week in the WTA 125, and I just thought, okay, yeah, it's gonna be a few more years, I think, perhaps. But she's a quick learner and she's smart, and we'll see how that pans out. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on all things tennis.
Ready. Play.
Breaking news from Talking Tennis Towers, at least, which is that we have now surpassed the figure of 23,771 subscribers. That was a golden figure because that is the capacity of the Arthur Ashe Stadium. Well, now we have more subscribers than the largest tennis stadium in the world has seats. So, Talking Tennis, blow your own trumpet moment, tick. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on all things tennis.
Ready. Play.
Conferência de imprensa com Alex Eala depois da segunda ronda deste Alex Open 125. Alex, tough one up there, of course. Thoughts on the match, please?
I think she played very well. I think it was a good match, tight one for sure, and she performed better in the tight moments, and I know what I have to improve for the next tournament. Yeah.
What do you have to improve?
Well, I think a bit of the movement. It's my first tournament on clay. Being demanding with the quality on each shot, and yeah, just take it step by step. I don't think I'm not super down after the match. I competed well. I competed to the best of my ability, and yeah, it was a good match. Yeah.
A lot of people came to support you, even on that very small courts. Are you still surprised with all those people wanting to see you play? Probably most of them for the first time. How happy are you with the sport?
No, I'm super happy. It's tough conditions to watch here. Cold, windy, a lot of the times raining, and I guess that also affects the conditions of the court for the tennis. So for them to still be here and to support me despite that, it means a lot. Yeah.
Do you think the conditions maybe didn't help you today, or didn't really matter?
Maybe the balls were a bit heavier. I think the weather definitely affects clay courts more in terms of changes of condition than other surfaces. I can't say for sure that in the end it's the same. If the court's wet, the court's heavy. The court's heavy for her, the court's heavy for me. So maybe some certain aspects are advantages to certain game styles, but that's not for me to say. I can't say that it was a disadvantage or whatever. It's just how the court was today. Yeah.
Mentally speaking, how tough was it to go from the central court in Miami to the small court 17 or 18?
I mean,
was it easy for you?
Yeah, it was easy. In the end, I don't really care which court I play. I have to. This is the job. I don't expect now that I'm going to be in center court all the time. Yeah, you can't. I mean, you can't expect that. It's not a problem for me to be whichever court. Yeah.
Yeah. now Madrid and Rome coming, you played Madrid a couple of times. How excited are you to play those two big events like Legend in the top 100? That's where you are at the moment, and how excited are you for that?
Super excited. It's Madrid. I always love going back there, and Rome will be my first time. So much to look forward to. I think, my goals for this clay season, especially after Miami, is just to do better than last year, to improve my game on clay. It's quite a short period of time compared to hard. So yeah, just to feel myself do better and feel myself keeping the level. Yeah.
What is it about clay, do you think, for you and your game that makes it maybe a little bit more tricky than hard court, for example?
Well, I grew up on hard court, so it comes more natural to me, and maybe my game is a bit more suited to there, how to move, but not to say that it should change on clay. I don't think it's in the end it's a court, so of course maybe the bounce is higher, it's affected by the weather, but you can't make it such a big deal. It's nothing to change my whole game over, so I believe that I can do just as well on clay as I can on hard. Yeah.
Just coming back to the match today, I mean, 1 or 2 points either way, and we could be looking at a third set, and who knows. And there's one big point in the tie break, I think at 2-4 maybe, or 3-2, and I know you had the line checked. From where I was standing, it was difficult to tell, but you were pretty, keen to have the umpire come and have a look.
Yeah, there was. I think I'm trying to recall that point, but there were a lot of close. And I think that's the advantage of clay, is that you have the mark, and in the end, if it's really that close, then it's the decision of the umpire. I saw what I saw, but in the end, she makes the final call. So nothing to say about that. Yeah.
Of course, it was not easy the week as well because of the weather. But did you enjoy your staying in Lisbon? Are you coming?
Of course, tough loss today, of course, but I think there's a lot of positives to take away. I had fun with the matches that I played, competing, and of course the club is super nice. Yeah, I think organized pretty good. I mean, you had to adapt a lot with the weather, so that's not in our control. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on all things tennis.
Ready? Play.
How has life changed since that Miami run for you, or has it not changed at all?
A lot has changed technically, but I don't really feel, at the same time, not much has changed. It's hard to explain. I've had the same work ethic since I was young, so nothing in terms of how I go about my day has really changed. Of course, there's a big difference between last month and this month in terms of my results, my ranking, but when you focus on the things that I need to focus on, there's nothing much.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you feel any more pressure?
I think it's normal to feel some pressure after a big run like this. But tennis is a game that has a lot of pressure in whichever moment that you're in your life, and I think that I've done the best I could with my mentality and talking with my team about how I can handle it, and hopefully that shows on court.
The win over Iga, is that the best moment of your career so far, would you say?
Of course. I think all of those, all the wins that week, and even the match against Jessica was such important moments in my life. Yeah.
Yeah, sure. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on all things tennis.
Ready. Play.
Any up-and-coming players we should be looking out for in Asia? Certainly, Eala is one that's obviously, you know, she's got a lot of attention with her runs this year. I mean, what is Ayala's ceiling? I think, you know, she has, you know, top 50 potential, and then perhaps, you know, I think she can be a player that would be seeded, you know, in the slams. So, and perhaps maybe top 20. Who knows? That's maybe her ceiling, I would say. But top 10 is I think, you know, be difficult with, you know, where her serve is. I mean, her serve is obviously a weakness, and it should be better than it is. But of course, that is something that can be worked on. So, you know, perhaps with the right coaching, she can do better, because the rest of her game's pretty good. I mean, she's not got the biggest weapons, but, you know, she's quite an aggressive player. She's quite good overall technically. And
Alex Eala has had a good 2025 so far, considering that this is really her first full year on the WTA Tour. She's already achieved a lot of milestones this year. For example, reaching her first WTA final, getting her career high ranking of 56, and also being able to get into the main draws of 2 slams already, Roland Garros and Wimbledon. So I think in terms of the milestones that she is looking for in her young career, she's ticking off a lot of the, you know, the check boxes for them. In terms of if we're thinking about her ceiling or what it would look like for her to maximize her full potential, I think it's a bit challenging to say, mainly because we don't know yet how the aspects of her game will develop. For example, like her serve, which has been pinpointed as the biggest weakness of her game, for example. So we don't know how well that will develop throughout like the next couple of years. So depending on that, I think that would be the biggest factor. But we already can see the things that she has in her arsenal. Like, she is a really good worker, she has a really great return, she's very aggressive on return, and she competes very well. Like, she is always in there, always in it for the fight, which all of these things I think will help her in the long run. Maybe I can see her vacillating between top 20, top 30, around that. Probably hard courts will still be the where she will find the most success. So very interesting to see how well she'll do in this upcoming North American swing, and especially in the last slam of the year, the US Open.
It's quite difficult to tell at such a young age what Alex Eala's ceiling will be, and you know, we do see some inconsistency from her on the tour right now, but we are seeing some improvements, and we saw even the serve was doing a bit better on the grass. I do think that ultimately hard will always be her best surface, and I think she acknowledges that too. She had a lot of difficulties on the clay. I know she took a set off Iga, but that ended up being the highlight of her clay court season by some margin, with early exits in Rome and also the French Open to follow. But anyway, as for her ceiling, top 20, yeah, that's feasible. But we're going to need to see bigger improvements, especially just it's the serve. If she had a Sabalenka serve, she'd be top 10, no doubt. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on all things tennis.